Hi, this is Rick Harsch, and this is my master class for the day. I've lost my master class thing, but it says you can skip this ad in 3 days, and let's just assume that's still the case. Don't be precipitate. Now, today's class is a very straightforward one about why I'm doing this class. I'm doing it to mock the insanely what's the word? Insanely pretentious assholes who teach master's classes and say things as if they are true for all writers when they are probably true for almost no writers in most cases, and in many cases like that of Joyce Carol Oates, absolutely insane. She contradicts herself. If she takes her own advice, she cannot write. So obviously she's just bullshitting. So anyway, that's why I do these master classes. But today I want to talk about something else, a little more positive about the writer and the power of the writer. Now, we live in a world, as I've said, where we outnumber the people who control us, the agents, the editors, and the publishers. We outnumber them by about 10,000 to 1. That's a wild guess. It's probably 30,000 to 1. Well, why aren't we doing more to get out from under them? Well, because editors are useful, but we can usually find a good friend to do our editing for us. But if we get published by a nice place, there might be a good editor there, but there might be a bad editor there too. Remember, the writer is the writer. The editor is not a writer. Okay? The writer is the writer. And the editor deserves for you to pay attention to the editor, but that's it. The editor deserves no power over the writer. The agent is a parasite, and the publisher is the deranged by profit decider of who gets read and who doesn't get read. All right? He's the reason that most people don't know Joseph McElroy, and most people do know Stephen King. Nothing wrong with Stephen King if you like horror, but if you like literature, something that'll last over centuries, you want McElroy, not King. But publishers are in it for money, and no more needs to be said at this moment on that point. So what do we do about that? Well, I'll tell you what I had to do. I had to get out from under a publisher who was fucking up the publication of this book and this book. And I did that by because reviews were coming up, and he didn't have enough copies of the book. He didn't have a single copy of a book like this, which is properly done. And I created my own publication house called Corona Samizdat. You can see it on both books. And well, when I created Corona Samizdat, I did it through the help of a Slovene publisher. And now, and when I did it, I got a couple people asking me, so what else does Corona Samizdat put out? And I was forced to say nothing. I just did that because I got to meet the demand that will come from the reviews that are coming of these books that have been in advance review copies since October. So many times was the publication date put off. So, Corona Samizdat thought, okay, well, you know, what I really, really miss is the pocketbook. This is a New Directions pocketbook. Isn't it nice? What I always wanted when I imagined myself in print, I didn't imagine fame or money. I imagined my book in a pocket form. I never wanted anything like this. I mean, it's beautiful and all, but what I wanted was something like this. Let's see, how does it compare to... Whoops, it's too big. The actual size of this book is about the same width as this, only this tall. This is a Corona Samizdat production under the Amelietti and Amelietti Father Press. And we are publishing David Vardaman, a 63-year-old man who should have been published a long time ago, and now will be published with a beautiful cover by using a painting by an Ukrainian artist who lives down the street. And we are going to do several other books, all for people who deserve to be published. Even maybe me, because my Driftless trilogy is out of print, and if things go well, I may put out an inexpensive fat copy of the Driftless trilogy. But for now, it's David Vardaman, and next is George Salas, Sea Above, Sun Below. And that's something that can be done by working together with a few people, because the printer, notice I didn't mention the printer. The printer only asks you, what do you want? And if you ask for something expensive, it costs more. If you ask for a little pocketbook, it's pretty cheap. And so you can publish whatever you want if you can scrape up the dough. Am I going to make any money off this? I hope to make enough money to put out as many of these as need be put out. That's all. I want to pay my expenses. If I don't, well, then there will be a limit to the number that I put out. And that's that. But in the meantime, did I mention why I was wearing this? Oh boy. Well, never mind. I'm doing it because my dog was farting particulate matter. But the main thing is there's a coronavirus problem going on, and for now, don't trust anybody who says you don't need these. Wear the mask, keep your distance, be safe, keep washing your hands, and may Bankim Chandra Chatterjee bless you.